Welcome to Mike's Literary Minute, where books can be listened to and enjoyed. Hello, my name is Michael, and I've been listening to audiobooks since the mid-'80s, and I want to go over one today. This is out of the Wayback File. This book I actually had on cassette tape. Simon & Schuster cassette tape. It was a two cassette set that was picked up at Barnes & Noble or Walden Books or one of those bookstores that probably doesn't exist anymore. And that book, Double Deuce by Robert B Paker and read by David Dukes. I got into Robert Parker's novels because of Spencer for Hire, 80s television show. Robert Urich played Spencer, Avery Brooks played Hawk, and let's see, Richard Jekyll was in it, and some other guys whose names I can't remember right now. But I really enjoyed the television series, and because of that, started actually reading Robert Parker's books. And the television series, well, good. The books blow the television series right out of the water. Double Deuce is a prime example of that. You got Hawk that comes up to Spencer, because Spencer's always employed, and it says, I need some help cleaning a bad element out of a housing project. Hence, Double Deuce, 22 Hobart Street is where the tenement is. It's colloquially known as Double Deuce. And this is a story of Spencer and Hawk going and cleaning out the gang. And there's a lot of drama in the book. And I can actually see Robert Urich and Avery Brooks. As I'm listening to the book, I can actually see them in the back of my little skull actually being the characters. For me, it's a very good book. Very good book. As I said, I've listened to this book, good Lord. I wore the tape out and then, have it on Audible. So I've had this book in my collective library going on 40 plus years. And I've listened to it probably easily without even thinking 30 times. That's how good of a book I think this book is. And we also get the 11th Commandment. This is the book, people who know me will hear me quote the 11th Commandment. The 11th Commandment, as written by Robert B Paker, is leave everyone else the fuck alone. And I'm quoting that. That's in the book. And the first time I heard them quote the 11th Commandment, I was trying to, I was listening to the book to, trying to relax and go to bed, and I literally fell out of bed laughing. Yeah, that did not end well for me, but hey, it was well worth it. I still quote the 11th Commandment. I've cleaned it up a little bit as leave everybody else alone. But if you ever hear someone quote an 11th Commandment, the 11th Commandment was done by this guy right here, Robert Parker, in the book Double Deuce, read by David Dukes. And as I said, I can honestly see Avery Brooks saying, Spencer, these people, what's the 11th Commandment? They need to learn the 11th Commandment. What's that? I'll leave everyone else the fuck alone. I could actually see Avery Brooks saying that. And on a side tangent, the reason I'm a sci-fi nerd. I'm a big sci-fi nerd. When they came out with Star Trek Deep Space Nine and they cast Avery Brooks as Commander Benjamin Sisko, the first thing that went out of my mouth was, Hawk is going to be in charge of a space station? Oh, this is not going to end well. And boy, I was right. God, that series sucked. This book has been out for a while. Obviously, I had it back in the 80s on cassette. You can still find it on cassette on eBay and in half-price books and places like that. I don't know if it was ever pressed onto CD. Honestly, I don't care either. I had it on cassette. My guess is eventually it did get put over onto CD. I don't know for certain that it was, though. I can't guarantee that it was. But you can get the Audible file. You can get the cassette. And you can still get the book, the actual legitimate, honest to God, it's got paper and pages and text on it book. And I kind of hope that there are other Robert Parker fans. Actually, I need to call him by his pen, Robert B Paker, because there's actually a Robert Parker who writes books. That's why he specifies Robert B Paker. So I'm hoping there are Robert B Paker fans that find this channel and find this video and find my other videos. And, hopefully they'll regale me with some of the the funny moments that they had out of some of their books that they read. I have actually tried to go through, get every single solitary Spencer book, and then listen to them over the span. It'll take about a year, maybe a little bit more, to listen to. I think there's like 28 books in the series. And unfortunately, Robert B. Paker is no longer with us. The man did pass away. And ever since then, there has, in my opinion, been a hole in the literary world, because he is no longer with us to write the books he wrote. Some of his earlier stuff, I'm really like Godworth manuscript, I'm really not too hot on. But once he gets the characters rolling and he gets past the first couple of books, in my opinion, the characters come to life. They take off, and you better hang on, because it's going to be a ride. So, anybody Robert B. Paker fan other than me, hi. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do what you're going to do. And if you get a chance, I don't know, actually, Spencer for Hire is on DVD. I know that because I've got season 1. The other 2 seasons I think have been released, but, well, I think they were released in Europe, and you can't play them over here unless you got a DVD player like what I've got, which has no region coding on it. And that reminds me, I need to see if I can get seasons 2 and seasons 3. I'm not too hot on the Rita Fiore episodes, but, you know, it is what it is. So, as I said, like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. And it is Sunday here in South Texas. It, in my opinion, is hotter than hell. And I hope you guys have a good week and stay cool. And we'll catch you on the next video. All right, at this point, where's the damn remote?